What's up, YouTube? FallenPsycho82 here, coming at you with a deck profile and locals report from this previous weekend. This is the Bujin deck I piloted and got first. I do believe Bujins are a very strong deck this format, and I decided to use it, and it worked out fairly well for me. This is also the deck I was using in the live stream yesterday, hence why I did not upload the profile before, so as not to give away my exact deck lists. It's also the deck I used in last week's speed duels, and here it is. So first up, we have 3 Motto. This guy puts in just too much work. He's the heart and soul of the deck. He's just like, you search every card you need, any card to protect, sets up your combo and defensive plays, and does everything you need. 2 Mikazuchi sets up your Bujin Carnations, which really put in work. And he's just another beast warrior. He also serves as a pseudo hair, as he's destruction protection for you. 2 Harume. Harume's really good. She just is like, her plus anything equals an Xyz monster, which is really good since Asanowo is probably one of the best Xyz monsters in the game right now. And Harume just helps make him really easily. Then we have the 1 Arsuda, just to make strong combo plays. Like, Quillen can summon him out, Harume can summon him out, Hair even, if necessary, can summon him out, and he just helps a lot with your extension plays. Those were the Beast Warriors. I decided, I know a lot of people like to go 3, 1, and 1. I felt like 2, 2, 1 was the better ratio, just for consistency reasons. The Bujingis, 3 Crane. I definitely feel like 3 Crane's the best number. 2 just, like, isn't enough. I don't know why I'm even discussing this. Most people agree on that. 2 Hair. I know a lot of people like 3 Hair. Well, I know some people who have gone with 3 Hair, and I have no idea why. You can only use 1 hair per turn, so having multiple engrave is kind of dead. Like, it's nice because it's 1 more card you don't have to search later, but I would not play 3. It's just unnecessary and cloggy. Same with Turtle. 2 is definitely the right number for both of those. And then I played 1 Quillen. Basically the same ratios I played for my regular Bujins. These guys just do what they do at the right numbers. Hair protects, Turtle protects. Quillen's just spot removal. He helps in a lot of ways, though. Like, if your opponent has a continuous card out that you need to get rid of, Quillen helps. He helps in the Mermail matchup to get rid of Gaios. He helps in the... He's actually pretty decent against Het, surprisingly, because if they Call of the Haunted a hand, you can Quillen the Call of the Haunted, and the hand will die without gaining an effect. You don't really need him, though, because Het sucks, and Turtle deals with that easily. But Quillen does put in a lot of work. He's also basically your out to Noble Knight. You put him into a graveyard, pop Excalibur, and make 101, take the king, and that just puts in too much work. Remaining monsters, Honest, too good, and Devil Veiler. Veiler just puts in so much work in this deck. It just negates any problem cards you may have to face, and I would definitely play this in almost any build of Bujins. I played 19 monsters. I felt it was a solid amount. Most decks, 19 monsters would be cloggy Bujins. You're dumping a lot of them into the graveyard, so it's not that bad. Spells, 2 Carnation, 3 is cloggy, 1 is not enough, 2 is the perfect number. 3 Tanky, get your Beast Warriors out. Just speed up the deck, make sure you have your mottos. 2 Kaiser. Kaiser is dumb. I don't know what else I can say about this card. The card just isn't fair. It's like, I get to control my Yamato. I can make plays on my turn, and as long as I have 1 monster on my field at the end of my turn, you just can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's just, like, too good for a card. I played one Foolish. I'm not sure how a lot of Bujin players are seeing this right now. I feel it really helps to set up your grave faster. If I can go first turn, Yamato, and have Quill and Hair and Turtle engraved, I'm golden. Because people are going to assume you have Crane regardless. So you basically have all the protection you need at that point. And I just feel this gives Bujins a much stronger early game. It also helps to top deck it late game. Because, like, Quillin is just gonna be, it's gonna basically be spot removal for free. 2 Lance, protect Yamatos, make sure your plays go through. It also serves as a pseudo Crane in a lot of situations to help you get over stuff. Then I played one Book of Moon. I'm not sure why I wasn't actually playing this in the speed duels, but I was talking to another friend of mine who plays Bujins at locals, and I saw his deck list, and I'm like, oh, why am I not playing this? It's a Decree build. This is a trap card I can play with Decree. Why am I not using this? So I put that in. I actually wound up cutting one of my dualities for it, and only played 2 dualities. I think that's fine, though, because there are a lot of turns where you're going to want to spam the field out with this deck. And to wrap up the spells, 3 upstarts. They just get to Yamato and other combo plays faster, and I definitely feel they're necessary for the deck. I play a lot of spells. I think I play like 16 spells. Again, a high ratio for a deck, but it's more than I'm used to, but I think it works. Traps, 3 Decree. This card just ends the Gear Shield Hat matchups, basically. They can't do anything past this card. It basically makes, like, half their deck dead cards. So, if half your deck is dead cards, we can assume, like, 3 cards in your opening hand are going to be those cards. Well, this card, having it, basically makes your opponent start off at -3. They went first, congrats, you're even further behind than you already were. I'm going to make a separate discussion video on going first versus going second now, but this card does put in so much work in so many matchups. I tried playing the trap build of Bujins for a little, and I just decided the Decree build was so far superior because you could basically play these guys and it allowed you to play so many other combo cards instead that this was just the best way to play it. I did play 2 Emptiness. Emptiness, yes, it conflicts with Decree sometimes, but a lot of the time I'll flip up Emptiness, stop your plays, then on my turn I'll flip up Decree, so that you can't stop my plays, and my Vanities isn't going to be stopping my plays either. So, they kind of combo, but I don't feel they conflict as much as they should. Other cards, we have 2 Susanoo. I know a lot of people like 3, I just never felt the need to make a 3rd. I've always just been fine with 2, especially since you can only control 1. And this card, yeah, I only ever need 2, however, I do think it's probably, one of the, if not the best Xyz monster in the game. It is a 1 card out to a complete field, as well as the fact that it searches protection for itself. This card is really dumb, especially since it's so easy to make. Other cards, Kagetsuchi. I misplayed with this guy in the live stream. I could have protected Susanoo. I completely forgot he could protect more than just himself. But he's really good. Like, he's another beast warrior you can make when you're going for your Hirume plays and stuff. I actually realized I need to put in a Tiger King when I figured I could only control 1 Susanoo just to make more combo plays happen. And the last Bujin monster, Amaterasu, I almost want him to be ulti just so they can all match rarity, but I do like secret rares, and I have a secret rare of him, so that works. He puts in work. He recycles your cards. If you're making long extended combo plays, he can bring back a banish card to give you another Xyz monster, and he puts in a lot of work. Yeah, I don't play Tsukiyomi. I feel he's only good if you're playing Soul Charge, and I think Soul Charge is terrible in this deck. So, those are the Bujins I play. Other Seas monsters, Diamond Direwolf, he's actually really good because he can put your Bujingis in grave and get pops, so that's cool. Heartland Draco, best card ever. This guy plus Kaiser is just dumb. Like, oh, so now you can't attack and you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Have fun. One Exciton. A lot of people are like, oh, don't play Exciton Bujins, but there are times where I want to make an Exciton, so I do play him. Other cards, one Mace Stroke. Mace Stroke just puts in work in some matchups. It's pretty solid in the mirror, actually, because Bujins don't have that many outs to it. One Paladynamo. It's another really good monster. 101. These guys all do very similar things. They serve as like one card outs to things, but they all do it slightly differently. Like 101 protects itself. Mace Stroke also protects itself and it gets rid of things in different ways. He can also deal with normal summons, same with Paladynamo. And Paladynamo gives you the draw when he's destroyed. Paladynamo is also an honest target, so that's just something to consider. Black Ship, another card that acts similarly to them. He doesn't need to use the battle phase like Paladynamo and Mace Stroke will have to get rid of stuff, but he also can't, and he'll deal damage, but he can't get rid of some of the bigger monsters. These four are basically the same card, but they all do it slightly differently. Diamond Dire also has a very similar effect to them. One Dweller. I almost want to bump him up to 2, but not really. Like, Mermails have never been a challenge for me in this deck. One Cowboy. I did not play him in Nats because I didn't have room. I play him in this, and he wins a lot of games. I think he won me both games versus Mermails. One Ragna Zero puts in work in sometimes. Against Noble Knights, he puts in work. And Fire Fist. And sometimes in Bujins, he'll help. And then one Rhapsody and Berserk, just to get rid of stuff. Then, for the side deck, I played one Dyna. I never sided into him. I guess it's mostly because there's, like, no Sylvan players at my locals, no Dragon players at locals. Otherwise, I might bring him in. Otherwise, I don't know. 2 Max C. They put in a lot of work in a lot of matchups. I may consider maining them at some point, but I feel Emptiness does their job better. That's my monsters. Spells, one Soul Release. This card was really funny. I brought in versus Noble Knights, and the guy basically cried when I activated it. He's just like, alright, so is it my turn? Like, you cleared a large chunk of my board, but I still have this big monster out. And I still have Gwennifer and Excalibur and Engrave, and I can set up next turn. I'm like, Soul Release. And there was basically like this grown man across from being ready to cry. And this card is really good. It also wrecks Light Sworns and some other matchups. Like, it's also too good in the mirror. Other spells, 2 Nobleman. Didn't bring them in at all, considering I didn't face any Geargia. But it's really good against decks that require having monsters set. 3 MST. More Floodgate removal. People like to try and Floodgate Bujins. I don't know why. Like, Floodgates are mediocre to begin with. Against Bujins, they're just really not good. Because Bujins play Decree, and Bujins are guys side in MST versus you. So there's just not a lot your Floodgates are going to do. You basically have to get really lucky and hope that you can draw the Floodgate super early. Those are the spells I played. And then Traps, 2 DNA Surgery. This card's actually really good. It basically makes your turtles and hares honest target. Not honest targets, crane targets. It turns everything into basically an Arasuda. Without Arasuda's effect. It's really strong in the Noble Knight matchup. And in some other matchups, I'd assume it's good too. Probably the Geargia matchup I might side in. Noble Knights was the main thing I was thinking of, and a counter side to other people's DNA surgeries. Oh, also Prophecy. But this card's really good. 2 Rivalry, another Floodgate, but Medolce is Bujins have a hard time dealing with them. So I felt like this was the best way to deal with Madolches in this deck, other than my hand traps that I already have. And then 2 breakthrough, just because of like stun decks, card decks that I'm gonna have trouble getting around their big boss monsters. So I basically want this in, because I'll be able to banish it from grave, get around to Kree, negate their monster, and make my push. So that's why I decided to breakthrough. For the actual tournament, round 1, I got paired against Light Sworns, 2-0'd him. Kaiser and Emptiness put in too much work in that matchup. They just can't do anything. Round 2, got paired against Water, 2-0'd him. There just wasn't a lot he could do against a setup Yamato. Round 3, I faced Raccoons, paired down. Normally, Raccoons might be a tough matchup for this deck, because Raccoons, what they do is they just main deck a lot of anti-meta floodgates. The guy, for some reason, wasn't doing that, so it was a fairly easy matchup. Round 4, I faced Noble Knights, got my 1 loss of the day. I still went 4-0, but everyone else I 2-0'd. Noble Knights are just really good. I had actually seen him facing the other Bujin player at my locals the round before, and saw he had sided in Lightmere and wound up losing a game because of it, so I knew I didn't have to worry about that card. Why Noble Knights are ever siding in Lightmere, I have no idea, but they do apparently. Anyways, managed to beat this guy. Then we cut to top 4. In top 4, I'm first place in Swiss. We had the split top 2. I 2-0'd a Samurai player in top 4. He didn't bring out Shen the whole time. He just made Zenmain's first turn both games. Set 4, get decreed, lose from there. And then we had to split top 2, but the understand was I would have won if we continued, because my opponent would have been the Noble Knight guy again. So that was my locals report and this deck. Changes I would make, not a lot. I may want to try and find ways to get Yamato faster, because you can literally lose games to brick hands in this deck. But, I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Peace out. Follow us on Go A2. Sign.